Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is indeed good old MF Michael Fletcher, alongside Anthony the Hitman Florio and the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson. We're just probably awaiting Michael Bullock. I don't know if he's going to be on the show tonight or not, but if he does, then great. If he doesn't, then we're just going to go with what we got. And ladies and gentlemen, we are on SmackDown Live from Baltimore, Maryland, as we now start the SmackDown side of the Money in the Bank, start to fill the gaps and the stock and see who is going to be representing Team Blue in some of these Money in the Bank ladder matches and other uh, battles, to say the very least. So we started the evening off. And just give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get my notes, so bear with me. All I'm going to say is this was a very good SmackDown Live. I think we all can agree that this was a solid show. Everybody worked pretty well. I'll openly admit that. And let's just dive right in. And we started it off with a Money in the Bank contract qualifying match. Jeff Hardy goes one-on-one with The Miz, and when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 19 minutes, 22 seconds, The Miz defeats the United States champion, and thus The Miz qualifies for the Money in the Bank, joining Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. Of course, both men getting victories last night on Monday Night Raw. And unbelievable match, fight of the night for me. This was as good as you could got. And there was a couple of commercials in the way, and it never really lost its momentum. But the sudden impact of the ending is going to be the most talked about because of the fact that, Jeff Hardy hit a swanton bomb. Looks like Hardy was going to win, and then he got crucifixed. A crucifix pinning combination right near the rope. 1, 2, 3 by the referee Mike Chioda, and The Miz steals the victory. But the thing is, it was a clean win. There was no shenanigans, no nothing. It was just Hardy just took his eye off the ball just for a second and got caught. It was a beautiful way to end the match. A tremendous battle all the way through, and I am not angry with the way that the match ends at all. The Miz gets the victory. The Miz moves on to Money in the Bank. Fight of the night for me. This was at least 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4. You can even make an argument for 4. But I think 4 is a stretch, and I know Anthony might be like, Mike, you might be going a little too high with the 4, but he'll probably see me at 3.5, maybe gives me 3 3/4. But this was a damn good match, solid fight, unbelievable way to start SmackDown Live, and that is how you get it done. Yes, you have a workhorse on Monday Night Raw. His name is Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion. We got a couple of workhorses on SmackDown Live. Jeff Hardy and The Miz proves that just lays it on the line in the middle of the ring, and they just let him go, gave them all the time they needed, and they damn near stole the show tonight. This was unbelievable. Anthony Floyo, come on in. The Miz advances to Money in the Bank.
Fight of the night, I'm giving it 4. This was 4 stars in that. I mean, you're absolutely. I mean, I know you were thinking I was gonna maybe say you overscored it. No, you scored it perfectly. But I personally think it was a 4-star match myself. I mean, the near falls, the action, you had an invested crowd involved. That's exactly what you need for an opening match. And Miz does it again. I mean, he had an instant classic with Seth Rollins Sunday Night at Backlash, and now tonight another classic with another proven talent in Jeff Hardy. And Jeff Hardy's the United States Heavyweight Champion. He already has the title. So I think it was only fair for Miz to go over and add a veteran element to that match. And this will, I believe, be his fourth or fifth Money in the Bank ladder match in his career. And going in there against a couple of rookies in Braun Strowman and Finn Balor from Monday Night Raw. So remember, folks, we're gonna have eight participants are gonna be in both of these matches, in both the men's and women's matches. 4 from Monday Night Raw and 4 from SmackDown Live. So not a bad first entrant for SmackDown Live with The Miz. So we'll see who the other 3 are. Well, we're gonna find out who the second of those 4 are in a little while. So I got nothing bad to say about it. You're absolutely right, Matt. You pretty much touched on all of it. So I'm giving it a solid 4 stars. This was the fight of the night. Absolutely great matchup here. Big win for The Miz. Gets him back on track. So nothing really more to say. Didi Woodson, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this wonderful opening match.
It was a very good match. Crowd very much into it. These two pretty much took it toe to toe. But yeah, in the end, Miz definitely steals the win off of Hardy's Thunder that he had built up there. I'm going to go ahead and shoot with the 4 stars as well. So not much more I had to say about it. Let's move on, Fletch.
And then we went from the men's Money in the Bank qualifying to the women's. That's right, it was Charlotte Flair going one-on-one with a member of the Iconics, my girl, Peyton Royce. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 9 minutes and 33 seconds, and joining Ember Moon, who qualified for last night's Money in the Bank as she got the win in the triple threat. Charlotte Flair now joins Ember as a member of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And Anthony Florio, come on in. After I saw this match, I was like, wow. I was like, I wasn't expecting much, but I have to admit, I was thoroughly entertained by both women. I think we can openly admit who the better of the two when it comes to the Iconics is, at least wrestling wise.
Absolutely. Solid TV match here. Now, there's something with Charlotte Flair that's just too stiff and reserved that is a better fit for her being a heel. I mean, she's not really getting the crowd living and dying on her struggles against heels and popping for her comebacks. And there is still some awkward exchanges in her matches too often. But all that being said, like I said, this was a solid TV match here. I could say this was the sleeper fight of the night for SmackDown Live. Just like we saw last night on Monday Night Raw with Rollins and Mojo Rawley. Nobody saw that thing being any good, but boy, did they surprise the hell out of all of us. But I love the match. I really liked it. And, I mean, I know a lot of people don't really like Charlotte winning this, but here's the thing. Peyton Royce is a rookie. It might be a little bit too soon for her to be thrust into a big time spotlight, but who knows? Maybe she'll get another chance. You never know. They could have some second chance match down the road. But for Charlotte, it would have been more interesting if she had taken the defeat here. I mean, I think she might be in need of a repackage right now, but here's the thing. She's still the queen, so that's just my little nitpick aside. But Charlotte and Ember in that match, wow, that's going to be hella fun. I can't wait to see the interaction with those two. And I'm saying it right now. You're looking at the odds-on favorite to win the contract here. No question about it. I got a little scenario here. Carmella cashed in on her a month ago in New Orleans. Who's to say Charlotte Flair could win this Money in the Bank women's match next month? And who knows, maybe Charlotte turnabout is fair play, does the same thing on Carmella when she's not looking on a SmackDown Live or a pay-per-view down the road. We'll see. The possibility is there with Charlotte winning it. she might win this contract, and she could end up cashing in on Carmella, turnabout fair play. So read into that what you will. So solid 2.5 to 3. Sleeper fight of the night. No question about that. So Edie Woodson, I mean, Queen is one step closer to crown.
Yep, she came out with a purpose, and she made sure that she left with the first check mark on getting back what is rightfully hers in her eyes. So yeah, I'm going to agree with the rating, and I'm not disappointed that Royce won. I mean, I don't think it's quite time for them to get into the title picture. But then again, Amber Moon's about the same way. It's a little early for her as well, but here she is. She's already in this match, so we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. So, Fletch, it's yours.
Again, quality TV match, nothing really bad about it. I'm gonna give this about two and a quarter stars. I liked it. I thought it was brilliantly done. And now Charlotte moves on to Money in the Bank. She gets her opportunity to possibly, if she does get the Money in the Bank briefcase, that does open the door for her to possibly regain the SmackDown Women's title. And Anthony, you're absolutely right. Maybe turnabouts is fair play. But remember, when you have the Money in the Bank, you can cash it in anytime, any place, anywhere, up to 1 year. I mean, it could be that night at the Money in the Bank show. I mean, we've seen a couple of individuals who did cash it in on that very night, at the pay-per-view. Or do you prolong it? Do you wait till the next SmackDown Live? Or do you wait a while to cash it in? It's really your prerogative, your time, your place. You just got to be it has to be at the right moment, at the right time. And what they've been harping this entire time about the Money in the Bank, 16 successful cash-ins out of 19 attempts. 84% success rate when it comes to the Money in the Bank. The only 3 that had failed in Money in the Bank history: John Cena, Damian Sandow, and most recently, Baron Corbin. Those 3 had been the only 3 that has not been able to pull the Money in the Bank and successfully cash in on their opportunities. So, with that said, we did have a one-on-one match, the next fight of the night, which was Cesaro versus Xavier Woods. And Cesaro gets a victory, a little bit of a payback from what happened last week after Sheamus got upset by Xavier Woods. A little help from the New Day. There was a lot of distraction that was going on in this fight. The Bar and the New Day were definitely causing a little ruckus outside the ring, but it was a clean victory, basically it was the Swiss slice, as I like to call it, the Cesaro slice, that monstrous, huge forearm uppercut to put the lights out on Xavier Woods. 8 minutes 32 seconds. Yeah, Didi, it's all yours, my dear.
This was a pretty good match. I didn't have a lot of bad to say about it. It was kind of interesting earlier in the night seeing the Cesaro and Sheamus in the back, and they're opening their bags to a bag of nothing but pancakes. But I think this was a solid match. Cesaro definitely, I think, needed the win on this because, Woods did win last week. So I'm going to give it probably 2.5. So not much more I have to say about it. Take it back, Fletch.
Solid fight. I totally agree with Dee Woodson on this one. This was definitely a 2.5-star match. It was just beautifully done too. The match was solid. I loved the interaction. The action was nice, and I loved the flow. I didn't mind the little shenanigans outside the ring because it never really distracted from the end of the match. So for me, this was a good TV quality fight, and there's a huge announcement. I'll make that in a little bit as it pertains to next week, because there's a huge fight going down in London that's got major money in the bank ramifications. But until then, Anthony Floyo, it's all yours.
Yeah, 2.5. No question about it. Cesaro evens it up, and we'll see what happens going forward. But yeah, I mean, but there was a funny moment. I mean, there was a backstage moment where the New Day pranked Cesaro and Sheamus by stuffing their gym bags full of pancakes, and seeing Cesaro and Sheamus, going off and pancakes. I hate them. Oh, it was one of the funniest things you'll ever see. I mean, but all kidding aside, I mean, it seems odd that this feud is right now being featured. I mean, you've got the most loaded tag team roster in WWE, and you right now, only the New Day and the Bar have been showcased so far. Where are your tag team champions? Where are the Bludgeon Brothers? Where have they been? Where are the Usos? I mean, just to name a couple there. I mean, you got the most stacked tag team division in WWE today, and we need more of it showcased. That's the only little nitpick that I have. But other than that, I mean, solid match, absolutely. So 2 to 2.5. That's the best I can give it. So, MF, we move on to our next match, and am I gonna have fun with this one, boy? Ooh.
Oh, you know what? I texted Michael Bullock, or I hit him up. I don't think he got it back, because there was a moment on this show where, we're going to get into this right now. It's Mandy Rose one-on-one with Becky Lynch. Now, before the fight, so Becky was waiting. She was chilling, hanging out at in the ring, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they're hyping each other up. They said that that they could both end up in the Money in the Bank, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and basically Paige being the new, being the general manager of SmackDown Live, and wants everything to be fair because, everybody deserves an opportunity, because of the land of opportunity, that she wants a fair fight, a good match. She's like, you know what, Sonya? You're not allowed to go out with your friend Mandy here. You're ejected. You're staying here in the back. I am not allowing you to be at ringside because this absolution thing, I've already said, it's dead. It's gone. So here comes Mandy Rose with this very, how can I say this without getting in trouble? It was the most interesting ring entrance, but something tells me that there was one individual that was doing the hello nurse bit a la Animaniacs, and I thought I heard you, Florio, coming from your house, because I know how much you love Mandy Rose, and believe it or not, after this was all said and done, we had ourselves an upset. Mandy Rose beats Becky Lynch for seconds. Okay, by default, it's the worst fight of the night. But wow. I mean, we always are harping at WWE or saying, oh, they're too predictable. We know who's going to win this. Did anybody think Mandy was going to beat Becky? I didn't. Floyd, I know you probably did not. And I know right now Dee Woodson is probably thinking, who let the monkey writers in the room when this happened? But it happened. Mandy Rose is now I guess we can call her a player in the women's division now. She just got one of the biggest wins of her career. And I know she's been the butt of a few jokes, being the first eliminated in the women's Elimination Chamber match, then being the first ever to be eliminated in the women's Royal Rumble match. But hey, take it for what it's worth. She just knocked off a former SmackDown Women's Champion. Not only that, the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, the last kicker. And okay, I know people are going to be like, WWE, what are you doing with Becky? Why did you have her job out to Mandy Rose of all people? Well, maybe there is a silver lining here somewhere down the line. There's rumors about a possible heel turn. There's rumors about maybe something going on where Becky takes Sonya and Mandy under her wing and reincarnates an Absolution crew of her own. I don't know. We don't know where this is going, but right now, Becky is going through a downward spiral, and man, I wish I'm in Baltimore right now to give this baby girl a hug. But, I mean, there's really nothing more to say. This is a holy cow moment. Decent fight, but at least in my estimation, this is unfortunately the worst fight of the evening. All right, Anthony, go ahead, wax poetic on this one. I know you want to.
Yes, you want to give Becky Lynch a hug of consolation. I can understand that, MF, because of your closeness and love affair with Miss Straight Fire. Well, for me, if I was with Mandy Rose, it would be one of those Hulk Hogan, Miss Elizabeth type hugs, if you know what I mean. SummerSlam '88 reference there. So that's what I would have done. I would have been like, oh my goodness. But wow, how about it? Can you believe it? Mandy Rose, her SmackDown Live in-ring debut, and she goes over on the inaugural SmackDown Women's Champion and #1 women's pick in the draft, Becky Lynch, straight fire. Yeah, there was no straight fire tonight. 1.5 to 2 stars. Yes, this indeed was the worst fight in the night. Absolutely. And although Becky has not been pushed hard as a credible singles wrestler with momentum for a while, I do sort of understand wanting to establish the newer women with a signature win to make them seem more of a factor. And yes, this was framed as an upset. Of course, if we were doing the commentary, I would have called this major upset. I did not think Mandy Rose was going to take Becky Lynch, but she certainly did. Major, major upset here. And yeah, I mean, I've heard the pandering for a possible heel turn for Becky. I mean, she has worked as a heel before in her days in NXT. Her and Sasha, they were heels, and we'll see if they go down that route again. I don't know. We'll see. But nonetheless, worst fight of the night, 1.5 to 2, but a major upset. Mandy Rose, go get it, my dear. That's awesome. Good for you. Big, big win. And she just became an immediate player in the SmackDown Women's Division. We'll see if Sonya ends up getting the same push down the road. You remember how dominant Absolution was on Raw? I got a good feeling they're probably gonna, maybe be dominated again on SmackDown Live. We'll see. But wow, I mean, I'm still in a state of shock. I'm like, I still cannot believe my girl Mandy Rose beat MF's girl Becky Lynch. That is awesome. Awesome. So, Didi Woodson, how do you follow that? 1.5 to 2, worst fight of the night.
Definitely the worst fight of the night. It was interesting. Not sure what to even say about it. I'm glad Paige is, making these girls, not come out as a unit like they were on Raw, giving them a chance to actually shine on their own, which I think they should have actually had that chance from the get-go and not waited till they transferred them to the other show. But that's my own personal opinion. As far as Mandy winning, yeah, that was a surprise. I don't know what they're doing with Becky. I've heard a lot of the same rumors. Kevin was saying, who did Becky piss off to keep having losses like this? But the other question in my mind is, are they using her to help train these girls so that they will be, contenders for what right now is Carmella's title? So we'll just kind of have to wait and see how this plays out. Me personally, I'm not going to give it a rating because it was very short. I mean, it was too short of a match to even consider a rating on, for my opinion. So, Fletch, it's yours.
And we move onward, to a few announcements that were made. So first off, we had was the New Day goes up against the Bar tag team match. Now, wait. The winner of that match, so if the New Day wins, then Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E would have to decide which member of the New Day gets to go to the Money in the Bank ladder match. Vice versa with the Bar. The winner, if the Bar wins, then Cesaro or Sheamus has to decide who represents from their team will get to be added to the Money in the Bank ladder match. This is very unprecedented. First time ever where a tag team fight will decide a spot for the Money in the Bank ladder match, for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Then, also next week, Didi was saying you might want to change the channel or whatever because they are talking about another celebration. Carmella celebrating her reign as SmackDown Women's Champion in London at I believe I heard it's going to be at the O2 Arena in London. And not only that, but she's talking about it being even bigger than the upcoming wedding of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Okay? We'll see. If it's anything like the last one, sit back, folks. This might be very interesting. But then the biggest announcement, and one that I've been waiting for a long time. Next week, SmackDown Live from London, the debut of Andre Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. Oh, I've been waiting so long for this moment, but it's finally happening. Next week, SmackDown Live, Andrade Cien Almas will finally make his debut. He's done with the commitments with NXT. He will be full-time SmackDown starting next week. And what a fitting way than to go to jolly old England and the O2 to make his debut. It's time for the main event of the evening, another Money in the Bank qualifying match, as it was Rusev Day versus the one and only Daniel Bryan, leader of the Yes Movement. And, well, when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 14 minutes and 22 seconds. Happy Rusev Day, everybody! Sorry, Yes Movement, this time you take the dive. As Rusev advances to the Money in the Bank ladder match, Anthony Florio. Whoa! Who saw this coming?
Not me, that's for sure. I thought for sure Daniel Bryan was going to win this match. But instead, we go from yes, 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 and fight for your dreams to it's Rusev Day. Oh, wow. How about that? Another major shocker. I think this is even more, well, I think Mandy over Becky was the bigger shocker, but wow. A lot of fans with mixed feelings here, including myself. You know, I preach about yes, 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 and lately I've been preaching about the fight for your dreams as well. I've applied that to my lifestyle lately too. But yes, I mean, when we went to SmackDown in Providence a few weeks ago, you remember how much fun I had with the Rusev Day. You remember. So that's why I say a lot of fans, including myself, with mixed feelings here. With this win, I think this could be a sign of a Rusev push. But it's also a sign of Daniel Bryan being downplayed early in his comeback. But let's see where the story goes, though. Maybe Bryan needed a setback to lead to something that sparks his character. Who knows? But this, to me, was the second best fight of the night. Very good match. And, yeah, like I said, I'm mixed. I mean, there's that part of me that's brokenhearted for Daniel Bryan, because I thought they were gonna clearly, take one step, push one step forward to one of the greatest comeback stories in history, if not the greatest. And winning Money in the Bank definitely would have, helped that. I mean, especially when he was ready to cash it in and possibly go after AJ Styles or whoever the WWE champion is whenever he's ready. Maybe him or Nakamura or Joe or something. I don't know. We'll see. But at the same time, I'm not even mad Rusev won. But I just feel so bad for Daniel Bryan. I mean, I think they're going through that underdog story again, a la The Authority, 4 years ago. So we'll see. We'll see. So I would probably go with maybe 3.25 to 3.5 here. Definitely the second best fight of the night, but another major shocker. So nothing more to say. D.D. Woodson, no joy in Mudville for us in the Yes Movement, but it's Rusev Day here tonight.
Yep. Rusev managed to pull it off. I did feel really bad for Daniel, especially there seeing him at the end, so brokenhearted, so upset. Because I mean, he went out there and he gave it, everything he had against Rusev, and it still wasn't enough. I mean, he even took going over the announcing table. But this was definitely a shocker to see Rusev win. But at the same time, is Big Cass actually done with Rusev, or are they actually going to start possibly getting him ready for after Money in the Bank to go after The Miz, since he was the one who actually requested The Miz to be over on SmackDown, and we haven't even seen anything other than one little show, Miz show, that had anything to do with it. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see how it all plays out. But solid win. I do agree with the rating, so not much more I had to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, it's time for the overall review on SmackDown Live, and I believe it goes to Dee Dee Woodson. So, Dee Dee, you lead off, my dear. What did you think of the show?
Well, my only major gripe for the whole show isn't even a match. It's Corey Graves. I know he's supposed to be the heel commentator, but he really went overboard tonight on the heel commentating. I mean, here I'm going to use the example with Jeff Hardy and The Miz because that's the one I think that pissed me off a little bit more than any of the others that he did. Here he's talking all about Miz's family and all this stuff, how Miz is a veteran and everything. Me being one of the biggest Hardy buffs and have followed these guys ever since they were with Gangrel, I know for a fact Jeff Hardy has 2 kids. He's a Grand Slam champion, and him and Matt are definitely in line somewhere for a Hall of Fame. Plus, he's the current title holder. You don't sit here and put down someone at that quality because you favor, like The Miz better than you would Hardy. I mean, I think that was a little bit of a poor sportsmanship on Corey Graves on, harping that and then harping all this crap with Carmella and all this stuff. It was the same thing over and over and over again all night long. And it seemed like he just wasn't dropping it. So I got to the point to where I told Kevin if I was there, I was going to go stick my foot down, where on that man. I'm not going to say it because I'm trying to not, keep it clean, not cuss, but I wanted to stick my foot either down the throat or up the other end to shut this man up because he pissed me off. But other than that, the show was really great. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 7 to 7.5 stars. But, that pissed me off even more than Monkey Riders. They probably wrote his speech tonight. So I'm going to get off my high horse. I'm going to go hit the sack because I have to be up at 5:45 in the morning. So I will see you guys next week. Good night.
All right, Dee Dee. Good night, my dear. Oh my goodness, how do I follow that? How did I try to top that? Well, I'm gonna slightly disagree with Dee Dee on the rating because I thought she kind of underscored it here. This was at least an 8 out of 10 for me. I thought SmackDown Live was really good. There was nothing bad on the show. I don't think there was nothing bad this week on the show. Now, okay, there was a couple of segments outside of what we were talking about that probably dragged it down a little bit. But as far as like in-ring action and the whole 9 yards, they absolutely hit a home run tonight. Jeff Hardy versus The Miz, fight of the night. You had a very good women's match with Charlotte Flair and oh boy. All right, hold on. The Charlotte Flair match was actually really good. I had nothing bad to say about that in the Women's Money in the Bank qualifier. I thought they did really good with that. I thought they did very well with, all the other segments that they did. The Daniel Bryan Rusev, the Mandy Rose and Becky Lynch fight was really good. So there wasn't anything bad. This SmackDown had really good in-ring action, and they really got an opportunity to really see the SmackDown roster. Even though they didn't pull all their guns out this week, they probably don't need to because, as you know, there was no Samoa Joe this time around. There wasn't Naomi this time around, even though she did like a little vignette. There was no Asuka. You don't really need to pull all the big names yet. Next week in London, you're gonna probably get to see all of them show up. Plus, on top of that, we know Sanity's coming very soon because they've showed another vignette of them. So you gotta think that, you know, it's only a matter of time before Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane, and Eric Young make their debut on SmackDown Live. And next week, we're getting Andrade Cien Almas. Is there anything you need to see right now? 8 out of 10 SmackDown Live definitely delivered tonight more than anything else. You know, I'm going to say it. We're under a 2-hour format. We don't have that 3 hours like Raw does, but the quality of the show was really good. And like I said, maybe one moment where you're kind of like, what the hell were you thinking, SmackDown Live? But other than that, bravo, ladies and gentlemen. Bravo. Take a lap around the field. You know, I tip my cap to you. And guys, have a safe trip going overseas. And I cannot wait to see you guys rip it and kill it at the O2 next week in London. Anthony, it's yours.
And since the show's in London, this is for the first time in a long time, we're going to have SmackDown spoilers next week. Oh,
yes, we will.
How about that? I think it's only once or twice a year we get SmackDown spoilers, and this is going to be one of them, as well as Monday Night Raw spoilers, of course. But yes, I will admit it. SmackDown Live was the far better show, without a doubt. All but one match delivered. I mean, the Mandy and Becky was clearly the worst, but the other matches all delivered in one aspect or another. Jeff Hardy and The Miz absolutely stole the show. Unbelievable match there. I mean, I did not think that thing was going to be. Well, I had a good feeling about it. I knew it was going to be a good match. I just didn't think it was going to be that good. Unbelievable. Wow. And a nice win for The Miz, you know, get him back on track. I mean, that's why they brought him back to SmackDown Live, you know? So that's all I can say there. Let me see. Man, I mean, The Miz continues to deliver when given time and a good opponent. Jeff Hardy's also showing he is back and not just limping through mediocre fights, you know, but and a battered and broken down body. And it was a pleasant surprise on the highest end of what you'd have any right to expect from those two. Miz getting the clean win is good for him now and then, without a doubt. So they had the fight of the night. Main event, second best fight of the night. One of two huge shockers. I mean, I honestly did not see Rusev winning that match. I thought for sure Daniel Bryan was going to win that match. Get him, you know, one step closer to completing maybe the greatest comeback story in history. But but who knows? Maybe, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if there ends up being some sort of second chance match down the road. And who knows? Maybe Daniel Bryan finds his way in after all. I don't know. We'll see. But what a nice surprise for Rusev to get that win. Maybe I think they're finally realizing we should push this guy. We should push him. I mean, we know how ridiculously over he is with the crowd right now, the whole Rusev Day. So awesome there. And then solid match with Charlotte Flair and Peyton Royce. They had a solid little match there. And like I said, the only thing that didn't really do any wonders for me was Mandy and Becky, and then another okay match with Xavier and Cesaro. So yeah, big show next week. I mean, that New Day and Bar match with only one member of the team going through to Money in the Bank. That's an interesting concept there. And Andrade Cien Almas. MF, we're going to have to hold you down once Selena Vega shows up. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, I can only imagine what you're going to do. I bet I'm going to hear maybe the biggest grr I've ever heard from you the minute Selena Vega comes on our TV sets next week. And yeah, so, and of course the Royal Celebration. I mean, SmackDown Live shaping up to be another good show, and I'm just hoping that Monday Night Raw can somehow find a way to either counteract it, even the score, or put on a show that will blow the doors off of SmackDown Live. But with both of these shows being taped, I mean, usually taped shows don't always deliver, but who knows? I got a good feeling both of these shows are going to deliver, but I think SmackDown Live is probably going to be better again. So come on, Raw, we gotta soldier up now. We gotta get going because SmackDown Live's starting to get back on that hot streak again. So that's got me worried. In the immortal words of Mad Magazine, Alfred E. Newman, what, me worry? Yes, me worry a lot. And I know all my fellow Raw fans feel the same way. So, but don't worry, we're going to be back. You know we will. Enjoy it this week, but let's see what happens next week. 8 out of 10, I'll agree. So, I'm leaning more towards 7.5 to 8, but nonetheless, Raw, SmackDown was better. I'll admit it. Like I said, you win this round, but next week, we're going to soldier up and fight on. So, it's what we do. So, nothing more to say. MF, if you have a Mikey's mindset, get into it, or if not, we'll just wrap it up here.
All right, I got a little bit of a Mikey's mindset. Okay, now, like I said, in the last few weeks, I've been working exclusively with this internet wrestling company called SEF, or what it's called, Sports Entertainment Federation. And now this time around, they got a couple of shows coming up. Actually, it's gonna be two shows, like I said. This Friday night, is the Anarchy show. Like I said, I've been promoting this one for a little bit now, and it's gonna be their battle royale. This is the big one. This will actually determine the first ever Anarchy champion, and it is a open invitational battle royale of all the wrestlers that will be there. And then on top of that, a few nights later, actually, to announce that this one's going to be on Wednesday night, May 16th. We actually got another show coming up, and this one is actually going to be SEF War, and the fight card that's going to go down. We got Jade West versus Seth Moxley. We got Cliff O'Crank versus Sammy one-on-one. We're going to hear from the show stealer himself, Chris Orion versus CX Cash in a one-on-one. And then in our main event of the evening, it is a trios championship fight. The Priceless Pain and Rick Reynolds put their titles on the line against Jason Stratus, Simon Lee Nash, and Tina. That's all going down this next week, and that's going to be exclusively on SCFWUN.com. So log on to the website right now. You'll get all the insight. And then for my boys in the Renegade Wrestling Alliance, the RWA, they're back. Yup, they got another big show coming up very well, or I should say very soon. Sorry. And it's got a big show coming up. It's Dynasty. I remember these shows. These shows are always really good to have, because when we talk about RWA Dynasty, this is traditionally the last show before the big one. And when I mean the big one, I mean this is the one. This is the precursor to Legacy. And ladies and gentlemen, they just announced a few fights already. It's going down. Special Friday night event, Friday night, May 25th, from the RWA Arena, or the Chop Shop in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And actually, I can't believe I need to address this, Anthony, but we've been specially invited by the RWA. They've asked for the Wrestling Forum crew to join and show up for this show. So we have been personally invited for this event. maybe we can talk about this behind the scenes about maybe making an appearance, being in the crowd and watching this. And trust me, you're not going to be disappointed with this show. But just to set everything up, this is the fight card as it stands right now. We have is Kellen Thomas and Deanna on fire. And Kellen Thomas puts the RWA Hype Championship on the line against Todd Harris. Also on the fight card, we got is Justin Sylvia and Hotshot Deshaun. They go up against the Middlesex Express for the RWA Tag Team Championship. Also, in a one-on-one match, Eddie Vegas goes one-on-one with Dan Terry. Also on the fight card, this one's going to be interesting as it is the unbalanced Messiah, Christopher Dozier, and the Terror Tom Billington. They go up against the tag team of Izzy Starr and the Insane Dick Lane. Plus, in what undoubtedly is going to be one hell of a brawl at the RWA Chop Shop, AJ is going to be Big Daddy T Phoenix and the Mind Eraser Mike Grassa. They go up against the team of Jimmy Hansen and Nick Marchand. And in the main event, this is actually going to be historic because T Phoenix gets to choose one member or one person from anybody in the roster of RWA. The Foundation will get one representative selected by Jimmy Hansen, and these two men will get to fight for the richest prize in the industry, the RWA Triple Crown title, as they will be in a three-way dance, ECW style, as they go up against the reigning, defending, undisputed Renegade Wrestling Alliance Triple Crown champion, Chris Cruz. Unbelievable event is going down. It's going down on Friday night, May 25th, about 3 weeks from now, from the RWA Chop Shop in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Get your tickets now at squareup.com. You can order it, and yes, credit cards are accepted for this event. For VIP seats, it's $15, $10 for general admission, and for all you kiddies under 12, you get to go in with $5 a piece. And let me tell you, if you have not seen an RWA show yet, be prepared for some of the best professional wrestling in the state of Rhode Island. No doubt about that. All right, that's it. We're done for the night. We are done with the Cerebral Smack Talk. I want to thank everybody for this amazing evening. Anthony Floyo, step on in. Do we have a docket for Strictly Sports yet? Has they announced?
Yes, indeed. We do have a docket for Strictly Sports on Friday night. Little loaded. So let's dive on in. This Friday night at 10:30, we have the Strictly Sports on the Zone 25. Matt Ryan signing an extension with the Atlanta Falcons. Ichiro announcing his retirement. The Los Angeles Dodgers throwing a combined no-hitter against the San Diego Padres up in Mexico. The New York Knicks have a new head coach. His name is David Fizdale. We will preview the NHL Conference Finals. Of course, we know in the Eastern Conference Finals, it's going to be, I can't believe I'm saying this, the Washington Capitals, wow, going up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The West still to be determined. One half of that equation. Wow, how about that? The Vegas Golden Knights. That is awesome. And they're going to be going up against either the Winnipeg Jets or the defending Western Conference champion Nashville Predators. They're going to have a winner-take-all Game 7 on Thursday night in Nashville. So we'll definitely be getting into the NHL. If necessary, we'll also preview the NBA's conference finals. We know the Cleveland Cavaliers are already in the East. When will the Boston Celtics join them? we'll find out. And then, of course, in the West, we could have Houston and Golden State in there. We don't know. We'll see. And we'll also have our first of many Major League Baseball power rankings. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm very much looking forward to that conference final in the NHL and the Stanley Cup. I mean, especially talking about Vegas going up against either Winnipeg or Nashville. Wow. I think for the first time in a long time, we're going to be going out west for the Western Conference Finals, and if that's the case, I can't wait. So with all that being said, that all goes down Friday night, 10:30, the Zone 25 at YouTube.com. Myself and MF, Michael Bullock should be there with us as well. So tune in. It's gonna be a great show. Looking forward to it. A lot of great topics to get into. So nothing more to say. MF, wrap it up. MF, wrap it up. I don't know where MF is. I hope we didn't lose him.
No, actually, you did not lose me. I actually was using the men's room while you were giving all that. And you know what, Anthony? I had to say, man, and here's something that we never ever thought we would ever see. But if for some reason, and here's the thing, if they actually do pull it off and win, and I'm talking about the if Nashville wins, I believe this would be the first time ever since this new format happened that all 4 number ones actually makes it into the conference final. This would be like the true number 1 versus number 2 in both instances. This would be the first time where basically the chalk would be dominating the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to look into it, but yeah, I believe this would be the first time all 4 number ones would advance into the conference finals. But don't sleep on Winnipeg, though. They've stolen one before. They could do it.
Oh, no, they have. They have, and it definitely will be interesting. The game does go down tomorrow night.
Thursday.
Thursday. And actually, I just found out, according to my friend Kevin LaRoche, he just confirmed this, that the Eastern Conference Final is Friday. The Western Conference Final starts on Saturday. So there you go, folks. Western Conference Finals, Saturday night, prime time on NBC. The Eastern Conference Finals starts Friday night in Tampa, and that game will be exclusively on NBC SN, the NBC Sports Network. And just to give you a little thing, because I know you were talking about the NBA briefly, the Houston Rockets did indeed finish the Utah Jazz 112 to 102 tonight. And as of now, as a scoring update, the Golden State Warriors are ahead of the New Orleans Pelicans right now, 25-21. It's still in the first quarter, about two minutes and 45 seconds left in the first quarter. So there's still a lot of game ahead on that. So that's it, guys. That's it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching this. For Anthony Foyle, for Didi Woodson, I am Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody. So long for now. And until then, hugs and hand pounds. And we are